Welcome to How the Blank by What the Blank Entertainment, and this is How the Easter.
Yeah.
So
Eggs on the table.
eggs on the table. So happy Easter, guys.
Happy Easter.
So this episode, right, another holiday episode.
Mhm.
We try to do these holiday episodes to kind of like see how we personally celebrate it, and also just how our thoughts on the holiday in general. Easter's a huge thing in my family. What about you guys?
It was always a pretty big tradition for my family too. We always did some pretty fun things. So yeah. What about you, Brandon?
As far as like family celebrations, we never really did anything for Easter. It was just kind of another day.
What?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like another Sunday?
Yeah.
Did your family not even like go to church or anything, or?
No.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah, my family always we had some really cool traditions because when Easter would come around, my family would always end up doing these really big egg hunts. Like we'd always set up because when I was growing up, we lived on this big ranch property. It was like 120 acres or something like that, and it was massive. And my dad would always take this huge basket of eggs, and they'd always put like dollar bills in it. They'd put like a $20 bill in like the golden egg and like this one, or like the really big eggs. They would hide like a whole bunch of candy and like money in it. And he would go out to this out on our property, like everywhere on the property, and he would hide these eggs all over the place. And he'd give us like little clues or hints to where they were, and we'd have to go out throughout the entire day after church and go look for these eggs. And it was really fun because it would take like 2 or 3 hours for us to be able to find everything. It was really crazy, but yeah, I mean, it was a good time overall. And then we had Easter dinner and church and everything else, but yeah.
So did you guys do like a ham Easter dinner, or like what usually did you guys
Normally
eat?
just kind of whatever my family decided. Like one of my favorite ones was always this thing called SOS. It's basically you make toast. I know it sounds like a weird name.
I hate that. I don't like it. Really? No.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, I hate it.
It was my favorite thing growing up. But so basically, you just make toast, and then you make white gravy, and you make sausage or bacon, and you just and eggs. You boil eggs, and then you cut up the eggs, chop them up, and then you chop up the sausages, and you put the gravy over the toast, and then you put the sausages and eggs inside the gravy, and you mix it all up, and you can break up your toast or just leave it as is, and that's SOS. It's super simple, super easy, and you can make it however the heck you want after you get it all put together, but it's pretty simple and easy, and it's good.
Subscribe for more cooking with Jackson.
And what does SOS stand for, Jackson?
Save our souls.
Save our sauces.
Save our sausages.
No, the thing is, one of my companions on my mission, right, he had something similar to that, but it was their biscuits and gravy.
Oh, yeah.
It was very similar to that, but their biscuits, how they did it is they got the Toll House.
Oh, nice.
Biscuits, but what they do is make a giant like biscuit loaf.
Oh, wow.
Type of thing. Like they put it
Big
all
old
together in a baking tin, and like have it rise together, and then they cut it in half and put the sausage in and make like almost a sandwich.
Oh, that sounds
with,
so good.
with like
sounds really good.
biscuits and gravy.
Wow.
And he made it for us one time, but he made enough for his family, right? So, and he has a family of 4, so like we had a ton left over just after the 2 of us, and we left it in the fridge, and it got so bad.
Ooh.
Like it stunk up our fridge for like ever. Like it was so bad. Like I was like, because I opened our fridge one morning, and I just I like literally almost threw up. Like I was like, what went bad?
Oh,
like,
that's tough.
But that's just what that reminded me of. But yeah, like, dang, so like some of my Easter traditions, so it was really big for my stepmom's side to do Easter.
Okay.
And so whenever, because we swapped holidays with my dad, right?
Okay.
So like my dad would get us about 4 times a year, 3 to 4, and so we'd either swap, like we'd either go for spring break or Easter, right? And so so one year we went for Easter, and they like went all out. So in Arizona, right, sometimes you just like rent out a part of the desert and you just have a party, right? And so that's what they did, and we had zip lines there.
Oh, that's cool.
4-wheelers.
That'd be so much fun.
Oh, it was so much fun. We had this interesting Easter egg hunt thing. So like what you do is we went to the top of the hill and rolled the eggs down, like the egg roll, but instead you'd roll it down and try to find them in the like brush.
Oh wow!
Because they would hide in the brush and stuff, and it was kind of the game after the game type of thing. So like,
cool.
So we'd find the eggs, and then my stepbrother and his cousins would like go to the top of the hill and just like do the egg roll thing. And be like,
nice.
And try to get the younger, dumber kids to like go find it in a cactus. Like,
wow.
But my whole story with that is, so we went and they had the zip line. I was so freaking scared of the zip line. I used to be terrified of heights.
Really?
Like so bad. Like,
are you still?
No. Like ever since my like going what was I went hiking. I went rappelling. After going rappelling, not afraid anymore. I went rappelling in the Zion National Park, right? Nice. In the Narrows, and like ever since then, haven't been scared. But at the time, I was freaking terrified, and it wasn't a crazy zip line. It was maybe 100 feet, which isn't like bad at all. Like it's not super long or anything, and we were connected from one cactus to another, which I thought was funny. But and they had like stoppers to stop you before you hit the cactus. But
that would have been terrible if they didn't.
I know.
Right into it.
Yeah, pincushion, man.
Oof.
But so all the kids were going over and over again, and all the kids were trying to get me to go, and I'm like, no. And then my dad went, and at the time he was 300 pounds.
Holy crap.
Like, and they were about to take down the zip line, and I'm like, okay. So I was the last person, and I was like, and I like closed my eyes, curled my arms, and my dad is yelling from the bottom, open your arms, just slow down, open your arms. Because like if you go like this, you actually do slow down.
Yeah, the wind slows you down.
But I was going, like, I was bulleting into my dad because they had someone at the bottom to catch you, and I like knocked my dad over.
My gosh. Holy cow.
Yeah, and I wanted to go again because I actually had fun. I was like, that was awesome. I like almost knocked my dad out,
Wow.
But they were about to take it down, so like, oh no, sorry, can't do it. And I was like,
holy cow.
Should have went.
That's crazy.
But that was like one fun thing is my stepmom's parents always would go all out for Easter. Like they'd either do like something like big in the desert, or like they would they'd do like a big thing at their house. And they had a nice house. Like we'd play video games and all that. And what's cool about like their families, I always felt included, right? While like when you're married into a family, especially when you're a stepkid, right? Like you don't always feel welcome or like included. Like I know my step siblings, they did not feel welcome as much with my dad's side of the family, but it's because like they were different and
yeah,
and so it was kind of interesting, but yeah. Was there any other like crazy Easter things? Like, did you guys ever get injured like on an Easter egg hunt or anything?
No, like I thought one of the weird traditions is when I was working at the funeral home, like we were the community hub center. So like during the holidays, like most of the like big community events took place inside of the funeral home. Even though we were still actively like working and stuff, they just cleared out like the main lobby, and the community would come in and do their thing. And we had like a huge yard. And so on every Easter that they would get thousands and thousands of plastic eggs.
Wow.
And they would put candy and stuff in them. And they would put them all over the funeral home. And I don't mean like they hid them in the funeral home. I mean like the entire floor was just eggs. From the moment you walked the floor, the windowsills, everything, and like and not hidden, just open space on the floor. And I would walk into work not even remembering that it was like Easter, weekend, and then I'd walk in and step on a bunch of eggs, crack open the candy.
You're like, eggs?
Yeah. And that's how I'd remember it was Easter.
That's funny. Yeah. Dang. Yeah, I've never had any like injuries or anything like that when I was when we were doing our things, but there was one time my brother and I ended up doing a dirt biking race one year because I think he was about nine or something like that when he got this electric dirt bike. It was just one of those like kids electric dirt bikes. It still was like pretty quick. Like it went up to like 30 or 40 miles an hour. And I had this 50cc some random Chinese dirt bike or something like that had no clutch on it. And it only worked because it had this weird system that was like it was so strange because it didn't have a clutch, but you still had to change the gears, and the gears were like backwards from how normal motorcycles are. Because like on normal motorcycles and dirt bikes, you would pull the clutch in and you push down to go into gear 1, and then you'd push up to go to gear 2 and up to 3 and up and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. But on this bike, it was just down for 1, down for 2, down for 3, down for 4, and then up all the way for every single one after that. And you click all the way up in order for it to go to neutral. And there was no clutch on it. So you just hit it down as hard as you could. I don't know if the clutch was like ever broke off of it or if it just never had a clutch. But it was the weirdest thing. Anyway, so my brother and I were doing this race down this street, down that dirt road in front of our house. And he was going like 30-ish something miles an hour, which, on an electric dirt bike, it's not like really fast, but for a kid that's like 8 or 9 or whatever, that's pretty dang quick. Yeah. And so he was flying down this place, down this road, and there was still a little bit of ice left on the road because it was kind of cold at that time. And he hit this patch of ice, and he tried hitting his brake, and he hit it too hard, and he slid off of it. And I was already going like 50 miles an hour at the time. And so he slid, and he was behind me. He slid, and he scraped his thumb across the gravel road, and he cut open his thumb really bad with a bunch of gravel and rocks, and he got a piece of gravel embedded into his thumb right there, and it was there for like 3 months before he got it out.
Whoa.
Yeah, and that was on Easter sometime later that afternoon after we did all of the rest of our stuff, but yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. Wild stuff happened, but other than that, I've never had any like other problems or injuries or anything random like that. I don't remember, at least.
I see, like, as an adult, I'm like, and not having any kids, I was like, what do I do for Easter? Like, besides like eat food, right?
That's a great plan.
And like celebrate like with myself, like,
I don't know how to start.
What else? And so what tradition that me and my friends kind of started was we did our own Passover dinner. On Easter is what we did. Okay. And it was actually pretty fun. And like with it you eat without plates, right?
Interesting.
And you don't use any utensils, and you pass it over, and like I made such good lamb. Like I got a lamb roast and put it in the crock pot and got it like slow cooking, and I made this grape sauce with it, right? And cuz usually they use grapes to like symbolize like harvest and stuff. Oh my gosh, it was so freaking good. Like, I made this, like, really nice lamb. And then you use, like, flatbread and all this.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Right? But I realized this last year, I didn't get out olives.
Oh.
Which is, like, a huge no-no for Passover because, like, they always eat olives.
You need olives for that.
Yeah, like, it's such an Israeli thing.
Mm-hmm. The olive trees out there are like big deal.
Oh, they're huge.
Yep.
But yeah, that was kind of like a new tradition that I did. But I realized, like, looking back at it, like, my family did stuff for Easter, but it was never like a huge thing. Like it was, but it wasn't.
Interesting.
And it's like, and the funny thing is, we're super religious.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it was. I think it was more we wanted to treat it like super simple. We didn't want to like over stress about it. Well, like, I remember working at a tie shop. Oh my gosh.
Like a tie shop as in like ties?
Yeah, like ties. Right? And it's called Taiwan On, which is kind of funny.
Oh,
that's like
I've seen that place.
An alcoholic term.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So people would call us up and be like, what's your prices on drinks? And it's like, we're a tie shop, sir. Like,
You hear that, Jed? Poor man. He's got all the trouble and none of the fun.
and so like that would happen, right? But Easter, the Saturday before Easter Sunday, people would come in because they want their matching Easter ties for Sunday.
Okay.
And so one time, this mom brings her kid in, and pays no attention to her kid at all.
That's sad.
And
Poor kid.
and the kid disappears into the tie rack and starts braiding the ties.
Oh my gosh.
Inside the tie rack, and I was like, be nice, be nice, be nice, right? And I wanted to strangle that kid.
Boom. He's in jail.
Because, like, I was like, happy Easter to me, right? And this is, like, only, like, 2 hours before close. And I'm like, how am I going to get all these ties untangled?
Oh, my gosh.
And still have customers. Because, like, Easter's just super busy in the tie world. Because everyone wears ties for Easter Sunday.
Okay.
And so people just kept coming in. And I was like, I'm going to die. I'm going to kill someone. I'm going to die. Like, this is just not a good day. And I think ever since then, like, Easter's just, like, I've dreaded it a little bit more. Not because of, like, the holiday itself. It's because of how people act around it sometimes. Because some people are very, like, prejudiced that way.
Yeah, they can
I guess so, yeah. That's interesting.
So, yeah.
My family always like every morning my family kind of always treated Easter kind of like a tiny or Christmas kind of, because like every morning when we would wake up, my parents would always end up giving us like a small little basket of like just like nice little gifts and stuff like that. Nothing like crazy or huge or whatever, but you know they'd always give us like these nice little things, like whether it's like just a random like movie or like when I was growing up it was like video games or like a pocket knife or something like that, and like just simple things like that. It was nothing ever like huge, but yeah, that was something that was always nice to be able to wake up to and then be able to see like new church clothes or like maybe some new socks and like maybe some new like church shoes or whatever, or a new tie, especially a tie.
Yeah.
They always got me new ties for Christmas, or not Christmas,
Easter.
Easter, yes, for Easter. And then we always did the egg hunt and church and yeah, all that other stuff. But yeah, it's some good times, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we always got new church clothes.
Yeah.
Like, always. Like, it was, oh, happy Easter, here's clothes.
Yep.
Right? Like,
Yep.
But, see, my mom would give us gifts for every holiday. Like, because that was kind of her, like, love language. Right? But I also think it was her trying to, like, make up for the divorce, kind of.
Oh, okay.
You know, because
Yeah.
she's like, love me because I'm giving you things. But it's like, I love you no matter what.
Yeah.
You don't need to give me things, right? But like, even for like Valentine's Day, we'd get stuff. St. Patrick's Day, she got us stuff. Even, I thought one time she got us stuff for like Arbor Day.
What the heck is that?
Like it's like National Tree Day.
The thing.
I don't think anyone even knows about that, to be honest with you.
Have you never heard of Arbor Day?
Never heard of that.
Yeah, so it was created by the U.S. government, right, for people to plant trees so that they'd stop cutting down trees and not replacing them with saplings. Like, literally, it was made by the United States government in the Midwest.
Oh, if it's a Midwestern thing, I mean, I didn't even know about that, and I grew up in the Midwest, but it's like, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, Nebraska is
maybe it's just a Nebraskan thing.
Day.
Oh, maybe it's just a Nebraska thing.
No, it's an all-U.S. thing.
Are you sure?
Because 2 out of 3 of us never heard of this.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. Have you heard of Arbor Day? Yeah, I didn't think so.
We have to wait until the video's uploaded, Jackson.
It's a live video. I can see it right now. Dang, that's crazy, though. I mean, we've all got some, like, interesting experiences with, all sorts of different, holidays. And Easter is a pretty nice one because it's not like massive where it's like Christmas or anything like that, but it's still a nice holiday to at least remember and, have your own traditions and,
And what's interesting about Easter, though, too, is I think it's really fun because it's really close to, like, the color festival, like the Indian color festival, like where they throw pigments and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's all kind of like the same themes, like with the blues and pinks and yellows.
Yeah.
And one thing that I love about Easter, though, is a lot of different religions come together, kind of, because they have similar holidays around each other. Right, and they can actually appreciate one another.
Oh, interesting.
And that's one thing I really like is a lot of people are super nice around Easter, whether you're religious or not.
I thought that was mostly just a Christian thing.
No, like, because it's also a pagan thing. Easter.
I didn't even know that.
It was the holiday of fertility.
Yeah, it was the holiday of fertility. That's why we have the eggs.
What's the
rabbit.
What's the history behind Easter? Like, how did it even actually come out to be the way it is?
It was a Greek thing, right?
Was it? I mean, I think it sounds right.
I think that was too hard of a question.
Yeah. So, in what I've learned, like, from, like, hearsay and other stuff like that, was, like, it was, like, a Greek pagan holiday that celebrated, like, life and fertility.
Oh, interesting.
And like, things being born in the spring, which is why it's a spring holiday.
Okay, I see. Okay.
And it was a huge thing, and the reason why the rabbit is because that was the very first pregnancy test.
Was a rabbit?
Yeah.
So you would so weird. I didn't even notice. I didn't even realize that.
Your like pee in the rabbit's food, or
wait, what?
Yeah, like
wait, hold on, wait, okay, hold on. We're getting a little off the rails here. Like, you would pee in a rabbit's food.
Yeah, well, like
and they would eat
it. The female would, right? Like kind of like with the pregnancy test.
Oh, okay.
Right?
So a human wouldn't pee in rabbit's food. You're talking about a rabbit would pee in their food.
No. Like, so you know how, like, females will pee...
fact check this.
Those scientists better check their hypotenuses, dude.
will pee on the pregnancy test, right? To see if they're pregnant.
Yeah, of course.
Right? They would take a little bit of inside of their
in their stomach or okay.
And they'd put it in the rabbit's food and feed to the rabbit, and if the rabbit died, you were pregnant because the what is it?
I don't know if that makes any sense to me.
I don't think it does either.
No, the hormones that you have when you're pregnant will kill a rabbit. Like, it's toxic to them. Literally,
so humans were using that as a way to determine whether they were pregnant or not.
Yeah.
But
that is freaking weird, man.
No, I thought it was just because, like, the rabbit is, like, the symbol of mating because they overmate.
Well,
that's what I was thinking,
it's
too.
Also that, too, but rabbits were the first ever pregnancy test. Literally.
That is so weird.
You can fact check this.
Yeah, dude, we're going to have to, look that up after this. That's crazy.
But that's why people say, I don't want no dead rabbits. right?
And that's why the rabbit's such a big deal with the
fertility too.
That is so strange, dude.
Right?
This is ruining Easter for me. We got pee-pee food.
But
we're getting pee in our food now.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I never even thought about that.
So like, there's so many things with like pagan holidays and like Christian holidays that like merge. And like, what's cool is like, yes, there's like Christian things that like come from that too.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Like rebirth and all that, right? But that's kind of why they chose like Easter and the fertility festival to go together, because it makes so much sense, because rebirth and birth.
So these were two. So this was basically started out as a fertility thing, and then it got brought up throughout our time evolving.
Yeah,
and
well, because this was even before Christ, right?
Oh,
before
wow.
Christ was born, they were doing the fertility festival in Greece.
Oh, okay.
Right?
And so it just kind of merged over time.
Yeah,
and now it's like the same thing.
Time. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. That's cool.
So
I never thought about that before.
It's really interesting. Like, I kind of want to research more of this, because I think finding like more holidays that are like intermingled with pagan holidays would be really interesting. Like Halloween, let alone like that's
an interesting one.
That's a really interesting
That's a really interesting. That one's going to be a fun one to talk about.
Yeah. But Easter is just a fun holiday. I think kids more enjoy it than adults.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
Because like they get to do more things. But like my wife's family loves Easter, but it's because their grandma is loaded and fills the Easter eggs with dollar bills and stuff and candy.
Yeah,
but like, it's like intense how
cool.
crazy the Easter egg hunt is, because they have to split it into 3 different groups, right? Like, they do the little kids.
Oh, then
they do the kids like between, I think it's 5 and like 11.
Wow.
And then they do like 11 to adult.
Huh.
Wow,
that's cool.
But what's funny is they keep all these eggs year after year after year. They just open them and they're like, "Hey, here's the bucket to toss your used eggs, and here's buckets to keep your candy. We want to reuse these eggs because we don't want to spend more money on thousands of eggs."
That's crazy.
And so like, I remember going for the first time last year, and 2 years ago, and it was just kind of crazy to me, because I've never seen them like people as vicious for Easter egg hunts, because usually it's pretty like lighthearted.
Yeah, the kids are usually just
right?
chilling.
Fun thing.
But like literally, they were like running, like pushing people over. Like one of the cousins got injured. Like I was like,
oh heck yeah.
I was like, what's
a good
going
Easter.
on? Like, where's
That's what makes it a holiday.
Give me that egg.
Yeah,
fighting over it. It's like Black Friday.
I know.
For eggs.
Yeah, but yeah, it was fun.
That's cool.
So yeah, I think, anything else we want to talk about with Easter?
I mean, just kind of going back to like my family's little tradition, like with the eggs. My family also used to do this funny thing where they would put different chores in different eggs, and if you found the wrong egg and you got that chore, that's what you had to live up to for like a month or a week or something like that.
What?
Or they also had these other ones that were lucky eggs, where you got this egg and maybe they had something in there like, oh, date night with mom or date night with dad, or like you get a free movie night or something like that, or
that's kinda cool.
you get like free dinner, or like what, I mean, not like we had to pay for food, we didn't have to do that, but just like give you examples, or like oh, you get like a movie night, or you get to play video games for 3 hours straight or something like that, just random stuff like that. Or they had the chore ones where, do the dishes for this day. You have to do this. And then they also had ones that canceled those out. So if you ended up getting both eggs together, then you can cancel out that one thing and give it to somebody else. It was pretty interesting the way that we did it. But
What
yeah,
the heck?
it was pretty fun. I mean, it was like we were always like on edge, like which egg we're going to get, because you can't look inside of the eggs that you're
Until
getting.
the end.
Yeah, until the end, because my family would tape them up, and you can't you can't open them up until you get back to the house. So you don't know until you open it, and that's what's really challenging, is like you don't know what you get, and whoever gets the most eggs would also get like a $20 or like a $50 prize or something like that, and whoever got the least amount of eggs just is screwed, I guess. But yeah, it was pretty interesting. It was a fun time though. All of us kids loved doing that, especially on our property. It was really fun.
That is fun.
Yeah.
Well, happy Easter, guys.
Yeah, happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Yeah, please follow us on all of our pages: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify,
YouTube. Yep. Wherever else.
Yeah, and if you want to join the team in any way or have us help you guys out with productions, please reach out.
Yeah.
And we are here to help.
Yep.
So, bye.
Bye.